Line up the team, gonna lead us again someday. Got fans all here, we have no fear. Gonna repeat as champs this year. We are the pack. We are the pack. Buddy, you're a Reggie good man, leading with your heart, gonna put up a win someday. They got white in their face, he plays with grace, kicking their butts all over the place. We are the pack. We are the pack. Buddy, you're a head coach, hey Mike, won't you tell me what you're thinking about the game Sunday? Got a smile on your face, love this place, feels pretty good when you're winning the race. We are the pack. Louder! We are the pack. I said louder! We are the pack. Everybody now. We are the pack.
Yes, good morning, Madison. Hold on here, gang. Good morning, Madison. Bucky's Packers. Tom Garrett's here, your guest host. You're listening to WSUM 91.7 FM, UW Student Radio. Is that Richard on the line? Hey, Richard, you there, buddy?
I'm here. Let's get the tailgate party started.
Hey, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing very well and a little sore at the moment.
A little sore? What happened?
Oh, just typical Saturday night.
It's a typical night out there with all your groupies, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we got Richard, my guest here from the worst band in the world. Hey, you're down there in Atlanta today, buddy boy?
Yeah, I'm down in Atlanta.
Down in Atlanta.
The ATL.
The ATL, huh? So, let me play a little theme music as we're going to start this discussion going here, because it's just a debacle.
Oh, wait a second, though.
Oh, here it is. You hear that? That's just The Young and the Restless. It is a soap opera, as we all know out there. It is the Brett Favre soap opera.
You're going to have to change the original theme song now, because it talks about Brett Favre.
Yeah.
The very first line said something about Brett Favre. I'm like, dude, you're going to have to change that.
Oh, I got you. I know my original one. Well, we're still having some hope out there yet. You know, maybe, I don't know, I'm giving them 48 hours. But, the hard thing that I heard this week is he said, go ahead and cut me. I'll play for the Vikings, and I'll come and beat you. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, that's what he said there.
That's what he said, man. Can you?
Yeah, that's why they put a free download of the Vikings Just Plain Suck on MySpace for anybody who wants it now.
Yeah, everybody out there. Oh, yeah, I got that ready to go. We'll have that up here in a minute for you.
Because apparently Favre doesn't realize that the Vikings Just Plain Suck, so I figured we might need to remind him and, spread the gospel.
Speaking of that, let's just fire that up a little bit. I like this. Let's just get going. Oh, here we go. The worst band in the world. Good joke.
No matter how good they think they are, they find a way to joke. The bike weeds, forever cursed with real bad luck. In case you haven't heard the news, the bike weeds just plain suck. They suck, really, really hard. They suck. Wow. The Queens haven't won a Super Bowl since the day that team was born. In the rare event that they make first out, that guy blows a stupid horn. The Queens have been forever cursed since Jim Marshall ran the wrong way. They're always in trouble and they can't play ball and they're jealous of Green Bay. Yeah, everybody sing it now! The bike weeds, they're nothing but a joke. No matter how good they think they are, they find a way to choke. Every year, the bike weeds, forever cursed with real bad luck. In case you haven't heard the news, the bike weeds just plain suck. Why are we even writing a song about this? Isn't that just common knowledge? They start each season really strong, and then they find a way to unfold.
You can say that again, Richard.
There you go. There's your message for Brett, if that's where he really wants to go.
Yeah. Well, what's your take on happening down there in Atlanta?
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep up with the whole soap opera thing.
Yes.
And, I think Favre brought it all on himself.
Yeah.
I've had debates with this, with different people. But
sure.
No one held a gun to the guy's head. He just said back in March he wasn't able to commit 100% to coming back, and therefore, the team needed an answer because they had to plan their off-season workouts and their draft and their trades and all that stuff. And they're like, we need an answer. You keep every year you make us go through this, wanting everybody to beg you to come back and play. He's a great player, and of course we wanted him back. But obviously Ted Thompson and McCarthy are sick of going through that. He's one player, and he shouldn't hold the team hostage. So he kind of, I guess, got off a little bit on the annual soap opera as to will he come back or won't he come back? Will he come back or won't he come back?
Yeah, this is season
finally
number
this
3.
time they're just like, you know what? We need an answer in March. If you can't commit 100%, then you can't commit, and we're moving on. And, don't change your mind 2 months later or 3 months later, but you knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And did you hear the story that toward the end of March, then he decided that he was going to come back? They were at the NFL meetings, and they had a plane all arranged to come on down to Mississippi and make the announcement, and then he called back 2 days before and says, no, I'm still going to be retired.
Yeah, he just can't make up his mind.
Well, exactly. And
at some point, you got to just, cut it. Say it's done, dude.
Yeah, I woke up kind of angry today. I mean, I was just, I can't believe what's going on. And my take on this whole deal, Brett, you went through a lot of trials and tribulations, and we stood by you, and you didn't create all these records all by yourself. The teammates and the fan support and, a lot of love here, Brett. And now at this point, why can't he, because a lot of the camaraderie, they talk about being a player, being part of the team, in the locker room and all that stuff. Well, don't you think you just want to come back and be part of the group and work with Aaron and just see what happens? And then talk about going to the Traders, to the Vikings? That's just, that's fighting words.
Well, he's not going to end up there because the team won't allow it. I mean, other than the only way it could happen is if they waived him outright, and then anybody could pick him up.
Well, it's really coming down to that point. I don't know. That's just kind of just cut him. Just let him go there if that's what he wants to do. Because he threatened us this week. I heard him says, go ahead and cut me and I'll come and beat you. And he's got this little debacle going with Ted Thompson. And
right.
Ted Thompson, they had a special here on TV last night, one of the training camp reports, and Ted was their guest. And when I first saw him, when he first came on, he gets a bad rap. Ted is just not Mr. Personality. And everybody's on his case.
Neither was Ron Wolf.
Yeah, what has Thompson done wrong? He's creating a great team.
Yeah, I see it as very comparable to when Ron Wolf came to Green Bay. And, he was just there. He treated the players, like they were property. Your players on the team, and nobody's any more important than the others. Obviously, they had their star players, but when the time came, he'd cut whoever he needed to, trade whoever he needed to, do whatever he needed to do to build the team the way he wanted it built. And everything Thompson's done since he's come has worked.
Yes.
So I don't question him at all. I don't have to like any of them. I don't care because they're not living in my neighborhood. It doesn't matter. But it is a business, and anybody who thinks it's not isn't really paying attention to, you're thinking with your heart more than your brain at that point. And I see a lot of people doing that.
Well, there's a big salt right down there. But I think there's a lot pulling behind the scenes besides just him. And I think things are going to come out a little bit later. I hate to point it at his wife, but she sets up the interview to her buddy, Greta Van Susteren, or the lady from Fox, Yeah,
Van Susteren.
Yeah, and I have that clip ready to play a little bit of that. And he goes on to a rant that's saying that, he suggested Thompson should sign Wall and Rivera. Well, Rivera got out of the league like 2 years later. And then he wanted Mariucci to be the coach. So he was like playing general manager, and then if he didn't do what he said, he's upset.
Yeah.
Can you go do that to your boss? Yeah, can you go do that to your boss and tell him what you want?
Right. Now, somewhere his ego, I think, just got a little skewed. His head got too big. But, I can't blame him, because that happens to a lot of professional athletes and college athletes, that you're just constantly told how great you are and given whatever you want and given special attention and treated a certain way. And, people rely on you to perform every single week. And that's just natural. That's not anything Favre's doing that's any different than any other star athlete does. That just comes with the territory. We, of course, as Packer fans, want to believe that, okay, he's not like all the rest, but in actuality, why would you ever expect him to be any different than the rest?
Yeah, there's a lot of prima donnas out there in sports. Just look at this weekend. You got the guy from Boston being traded out, and then you got Smith from the Panthers beating up his own player, Steve Smith. He's been suspended for 2 games. And, there's just too much money. And that's the other thing. I mean, to talk about, here we are trying to make a couple bucks here, in life. And, they're going to offer him $25 million to retire. Come on.
Yeah, it's a different world.
It's a different world. So, moving on, I'm going on the Aaron Rodgers bandwagon. What else are we going to do?
Yeah, and just hope he doesn't get injured before preseason's over. His record hasn't been stellar in that area, I'm afraid.
Well, we don't really, we'll have to hold up. I don't know. And I still hold up hope, though. Favre may still come back. He still might just show back up and be part of the group.
Yeah, I could see it dragging on throughout the entire preseason to a certain extent. I mean, I don't think they'll want to go in front of the media and make any big announcements, but I do have a feeling that I would not be surprised if Thompson and McCarthy are kind of keeping it in the back of their mind that in case Rodgers doesn't perform or gets injured, then Favre can come in and be the starter on opening day, or a week or 2 into the season.
Right.
But they own the rights to him.
For 2 years.
Their only reason for wanting to finish it is just if they're afraid it's a disruption to the team. But you don't throw out your entire future and everything they've been building towards and planning around just because you're impatient with 3 weeks of contract negotiations. That just would be a poor move, I think.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And did you hear the news that Grant signed last night?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yep. He signed $30 million, so he's in camp now. And excellent. Today's the big family night. Do you probably don't get that on TV down there?
Sometimes they show it on the NFL Network. I'm not sure if it's going to be on. What time are they playing?
6:30 tonight.
6:30, 7:30 Eastern. Then
all sold out.
It's going to be on. I've seen it in the past.
Yeah, I mean,
I actually went to that thing once.
Yeah, I did too. And the neat thing, Richard, is just think of it, every Sunday or every weekend now until the snow flies, we got football.